Hello, we are group number 4 and the video is a part of the course, Advanced Concepts in Software Design and Development. We will be presenting on Agile practices in the unified process. What is unified process? Unified process is an architecture-centric, use-case-driven, iterative and incremental development process. It can be applied to different software systems, with different levels of technical and managerial complexity across various domains and organizational cultures. The process framework provides an infrastructure for executing projects. Within the information systems and technology industry, the unified process, and its different refinements, rational unified process, basic unified process, agile unified process, and the open unified process are at the heart of the evolution. The characteristics of unified process. Unified process believes majority of software is best delivered iteratively and incrementally. Development is architecture-centric. The process focuses on the early development of a software architecture. The UP encourages ongoing quality control and risk management. Development activities under the unified process are based on use cases. Focus on continuous interaction with the users and receives their feedback at every stage of development. Effective management of requirements. What is Agile? Agile seeks alternatives to traditional project management. It is a set of principles where software requirements and solutions evolve through collaboration between self-organizing, cross-functional teams. The goal of Agile software development is to build upon small client-approved parts as the project progresses. Agile helps teams respond to unpredictability through incremental and iterative pace. Agile provides opportunities to assess the direction of a project throughout the development lifecycle. A few of the main Agile methodologies are Extreme Programming, Scrum, Agile Unified Process, and Lean Software Development. There are 12 principles common to Agile methods, and make it fundamentally different to a traditional approach. When they are followed properly, lead to better outcomes and better software. These principles can be divided into 3 broad categories: regular delivery of software, team communication and design excellence. Agile practices and unified process. Agile modeling is a practices-based software process that describes how to model and document in an effective and agile manner. The practices of Agile modeling should be used to enhance other, more complete software process such as the Rational Unified Process and the Enterprise Unified Process. Unified process is flexible enough, so that it can be instantiated to be reasonably agile. One of unified process underlying principles is that you should tailor it to meet your unique needs, making it easy to merge Agile practices into the unified process. Both the unified process and Agile modeling are based on the idea that the majority of software is best delivered iteratively and incrementally. Keep the team's focus on the requirements that they are implementing in the current iteration, resulting in an incremental delivery of functionality each iteration. How individual Agile practices are currently implemented, and how to adopt it within the scope of the unified process. Agile has a wide definition for project stakeholders that are compatible with the unified process. The more active project stakeholders are, less need for overhead activities that reduce the team's development velocity. Flexible modeling standards. Agile teams have many modeling artifacts at disposal like change cases, UML activity and class diagrams. The unified process recognizes a wide range of models needed for the complexities of modern software. To remain agile, teams should recognize that they often need to bend the guidelines and standards. Agile concept of collective ownership can be used to enhance the efforts on unified process projects, assuming that the team culture supports the concept of open and honest communication. UP teams should allow anyone on the project to access and work on any artifact that they wish. Build a common vision between developers and project stakeholders. Managers often incline towards a well-defined, comprehensive software process and, developers towards Agile techniques. Because management controls the resources, many developers are required to follow UP. Luckily the UP is flexible enough to be Agile. Create several models in parallel. Activity diagrams depict each discipline to see that several artifacts are potentially being worked on in parallel. The unified process has organized its modeling efforts into separate disciplines to work on several business modeling artifacts in parallel. Model in small increments. Unified process teams can easily improve this practice by preferring smaller, simpler models that quickly lead to implementation and testing. Unified process teams can increase reuse by actively preferring to reuse existing resources instead of building them from scratch, including existing models, existing components, open source software, and existing tools. At the end of every iteration, the unified process specifically states that a working prototype should be developed. UP insists that the team have a working end-to-end prototype at the end of the elaboration phase to prove the architecture. Both Agile modeling and unified process has changing requirements embedded into the process. Also, like Agile, unified process releases software in increments, and continues to test their product throughout the life cycle at each iteration. Simplicity is a fundamental value of Agile, that can dramatically improve the effectiveness of your modeling efforts. By keeping the models simple, the UP team is likely to work faster, while at the same time create something that is actually of value to the programmers. Agile practice and UP, in the organization. To succeed in adapting Agile principles in the unified process, the organization's culture must be receptive to both the unified process and to Agile. The goal of organizations that adopt the unified process is often to instantiate a fairly rigid and prescriptive process, whereas organizations that adopt Agile want to work in a more flexible manner. Unified process is often adopted by organizations that do not accept the Agile. Their focus is often on following processes and using tools which go against the Agile value of preferring individuals and interactions over processes and tools. When the culture of an organization is documentation-centric, they may find the UP appealing. If an organization is documentation-centric, it goes against the Agile value of preferring working software over comprehensive documentation. This organization may still successfully adopt, tailor, and instantiate the unified process, but be unable to follow many Agile principles and practices effectively, because it does not have an Agile culture. In conclusion, how well Agile and unified process will fit together in your organization depends on organization's culture, and not much on unified process itself. You can easily use the techniques of Agile modeling to improve your UP modeling efforts, but to be effective you need to overcome cultural challenges within your organization.